Hey team, carrying on for last week where we talked about playing with our exposures for effect. The scene you're seeing at the moment is just in the corner of our studio, and it's not particularly attractive, but it's for a reason. Now, the camera is telling me that that vision you're looking at is photographically correct. The histogram that I'm looking at on the back of my monitor is showing me that that is pretty much right. Under the table, behind the stools, we photographically, you may not be able to see it in your monitor, but I have retained the detail, or most of the detail that's in the shadow area, and the highlight area hasn't burnt out, which is really, really important to me. Now, we can go two ways with this. We could overexpose it dramatically like that, and you can see what I'm talking about with what's under the table. But today, we're going to go the other way, just for fun. That's where we were before, normal exposure, correct exposure. Now I'm going to go down, and as I go down you can see we are losing all the detail under the table. The scene is becoming more sombre, and we'll even go further than that. And that's about as far as I'd be comfortable with this. If I was photographing somebody in there, that's about as far down as I'd want to go, because I still want to retain, for instance, if it's a person, I want to retain enough detail to know who they are, but I'm imparting a mood onto the picture. It's a more moody, more sombre, if you like. It's a sad sort of a look, dull. It's the sort of look you want. It's used a lot in drama, in movies. You go dark scenes, you can add impact really quickly. It also enables you to get rid of a lot of stuff that you don't want in the frame sometimes, just by having the highlight on your main subject and let the rest of it go dark. But just for a really quick tip, if you overexpose, you make the scene light and happy. If you underexpose like I have here, and this is about 2.5 stops or 2 stops or something, I've underexposed this, you impart mood onto it. Now it's really, really easy to do. You can either use your exposure compensation dial, which we'll talk about in another episode, or you can just go manually like I have here, because it's just faster for me to go manual. The only other thing I will tell you today is, if you remember the moonlight shots that you see in movies and on TV, drama series and things, you can do that really easily. The white balance in this shot is auto white, and I'm just going to quickly go down to incandescent, and you get this blue cast to it. It's the electronic equivalent when you change your white balance. It's the electronic equivalent of in the old days where we used to screw a glass filter over the front of the lens to change the colour and the tones. That's it. Next week we'll be talking about white balance, would you believe?